everything that you're running away from ends up chasing you. You run away from your purpose is gonna be knocking on your door in the middle of the night saying, why aren't you going after me? You run away from your feelings, they're gonna wake you up in the middle of the night and say, we're not letting you sleep, you need to feel us. You run away from people's opinions when you know you haven't done the work to no longer care about their opinions. They're gonna wake you up in the middle of the night and tell you, you are dumb, you are stupid, you are foolish. Stand in your place and face everything that needs to be faced in your life so that you can live a life that is clear, so that your vision is steady. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Beyond Words with me, Najwa Zebian. I'm a firm believer in the power of words to fix what they didn't break and to break what they had no right in breaking. Today's episode is on a topic that is very close to my heart. It's something that has changed my life over the years to think about and to practice. And I would like to share some of the tips with you that have really helped me over the years. The title of this episode is How to Break the Habits That Are Breaking You. So I'm going to name a few of the habits that most of us on a day-to-day basis practice and end up feeling like our life isn't changing, or we're not happy with the way that we're living our life. Like it's just not satisfying at all, but we just have a hard time breaking those habits. Sometimes naming something helps you change it. Once you become aware that there's a name for it, just like saying, oh, I've been going through gaslighting. And then you're able to be like, okay, this is what I need to do to not fall for the gaslighting anymore. It's like when you know there's a name for what you're going through, it gives you power over it. Being able to name it takes away from its power because it's come to existence. It's come to your awareness. The first habit that I want you to start breaking today is this. Break the habit of abandoning yourself. You wake up every morning and I guarantee you the first thing you do is look at your phone. That's the first step that you've taken in your day to abandon yourself. You're allowing people who are mostly strangers to you into your personal space. You're allowing the comparison between yourself and whatever you're observing. You're allowing the chaos that's out there to take away from the peace that you should be experiencing first thing in the morning. You're allowing thoughts about things that have been predetermined way before you woke up that are going to show up on your screen to make you feel worse about yourself, or to make you buy something, or to make you feel insecure about something. The process of self-abandoning doesn't begin the moment that you make a choice that shows that you haven't chosen yourself. The process of self-abandoning begins with what you start doing first thing in the morning when you open your eyes. If the first thing you want to do is distract yourself, you've already chosen to abandon yourself. So later in the day, when you make the choice to, for example, eat that one unhealthy thing that you've been trying to avoid, that's just a natural consequence of the pattern you began falling into since the morning. It's not by accident. It's the little things that cause bigger changes in our lives. And sometimes we focus so much on how much we're failing at the bigger things that we forget that the little things are the ones that are leading to them. So first thing in the morning, no phone. I personally have started spending at least the first 30 minutes of my day. I don't look at my phone at all. I don't need to check notifications. I don't need to check my email. I sit and I have my coffee and work can wait. The world can wait. This time is for me. I am practicing meeting myself first thing in the morning. And when you have those 30 minutes to yourself, you can actually ask yourself, what do I want to do today? What do I need to get done today? How is my body feeling? Like you start being able to tune in to what's happening instead of instantly beginning to react to the world outside of you that is literally away from you. It's not even in your personal space, but you're allowing it to overtake your peace. Imagine how peaceful it would be to wake up and not have to worry about checking for your notifications or for messages or for emails or whatever. Wouldn't that be amazing? I'm not saying, leave your phone in another room. I understand emergencies happen and sometimes that's too hard to do. But what I'm saying is, don't let your phone take up the first 30 minutes to an hour of your day at all. You can wake up, you can grab your phone, take it with you wherever you're going, but your focus is on yourself. What do I need to do today? What do I need to start doing while I have the energy so that I don't deplete my energy, and by the time I need to do the things that I actually need to do or the things that I actually want to do, I have no more energy left because I depleted all my energy in all these places. And please don't tell me it's just scrolling through your phone. It's not real energy. Yes, it is. Your energy isn't just in the physical labor that you do. Your thoughts, the things you're consumed with, the toxicity that's out there that takes you down certain loops that you're just sick and tired of falling into. All of that is energy. So you start the process of breaking the habit of abandoning yourself by beginning every morning with choosing to come to yourself as opposed to distracting, going away, comparing yourself to others, consuming yourself in drama that's just not yours. Which leads me to my next point. The next habit that I want you to break is this. Break the habit of carrying what's not yours to carry. I know this is a really hard one, especially if you're an empath, because you're the type of person that even if you're sitting with somebody and they're just expressing to you what they're going through, you absorb it like a sponge and it affects you and it weighs you down a little bit because maybe you don't like seeing other people suffer. I understand that. But there's always a choice when somebody is expressing their pain to you or their burdens to you or their story to you, where you can choose to walk with them in their story. You don't have to step out of your story to be with them in theirs. This ties back to the first point. You don't need to abandon yourself to be with someone else in their story. It's kind of like I'm walking my story and you're walking yours, and I can hold your hand for a little bit, but I'm not leaving my path to be consumed with yours. I'm not leaving the things I need to do for myself so that I could do the things that you need to be done for yourself so that your life is better or easier. Stop carrying the opinion of other people on your shoulders throughout your day. You're going to have people criticizing you for so many things in your life. It's never your responsibility to change those opinions. But it's not just about changing those opinions. Like sometimes you're aware and you've accepted that you can't change their opinions, but it still bothers you that they think that way of you. You still walk around and think, like, how could they think I'm foolish? Or how could they think I'm dumb? Or how could they think that I'm not smart? Or you walk around trying to negotiate with them in this fictitious imaginary space because you're not actually having a conversation with them. You're having a fight with your own definition of what it means to be you, and you're giving their voice a seat at that table. You break the habit of carrying what's not yours to carry by changing the people that you welcome to the table that says, this is where I make decisions about myself and my life. I'm not going to welcome at my table the people who judge me and criticize me. I'm not going to welcome at my table the people who minimize me and my pain and my experience. I'm not going to welcome at my table the people who make me feel small. I'm not going to welcome at my table the people who try to humble me. I'm not going to welcome at my table the people who, when I share good news with them, they don't want to celebrate me. They want to bring something up that will bring me down. I'm not going to welcome at my table people who know how good I am and how helpful I am, and they know my empathetic nature. So instead of them directly asking for help, they will act like a victim so that they can see the version of me that will pick them up. Those are manipulative people. People you can welcome at your table are ones who are clear about what they need from you, and they appreciate it. They appreciate you. They make you feel like they value what you have to offer them and that they value you. The people you need to welcome at your table are the ones who are with you during your hard times and your amazing times. The people you welcome at your table aren't the ones who only need you to be going through all these things that cause you suffering for them to be like, I'll be there because you're the one who's suffering. I'm going to feel better about myself because you're suffering. No, you welcome the people who don't see your suffering as a condition for them to be in your life. You welcome the people who don't see your flourishing and your growth and your success as threats to them. You welcome the people who believe in you. You welcome the people who root for you. You welcome the people who show up for you, who are present with you. You welcome the people who want what's best for you. You welcome the people who care about the way that they make you feel. You welcome the people who give a damn about you. Stop welcoming the people who are on they're on the verge of, I don't know if I want you or if I don't. I don't know if I want to be your friend or if I don't want to be your friend. I don't know if I want to work with you or if I don't want to work with you, but I'll keep you as a safe option. So you keep trying really hard to get my investment in you, whether it's through friendship or love or a business partnership or whatever it is. Break the habit of carrying what's not yours to carry. The only thing that's your responsibility to carry in your life is your life. Your wants, your needs, your goals, your emotions. I'm not saying be selfish. If you're at a crossroads between choosing yourself and your life and choosing others' opinions, their lives, being welcomed into their lives, being seen as worthy by them, then choose to be selfish, okay? If that's what it looks like to you and what it feels like to you, that's okay. Be selfish. Because your definition of being selfish is choosing yourself. And who taught you that choosing yourself means being selfish? Go back to those early stories where you made decisions for yourself that were totally valid, but someone made you feel and accused you of being selfish. Break the habit of carrying someone else's definition of you over your shoulders and over your heart and over your soul. Once you're only responsible for what you have to carry in your own life, your life is going to become so much lighter and so much more peaceful. Break the habit of speaking to yourself in the voice that breaks you down. The first thing that comes to your mind when you mess up, what is it? Sometimes it's, oh, how can you be so stupid? Or, oh, I'm so dumb, I can't believe I did that. That voice is breaking you down. And it's sad that that's your own voice. But I'm going to remind you that that didn't come to life the moment you came to life. You learned to speak to yourself that way. You turned the voices of the critics around you into your own voice that criticizes you. But if you take 5 seconds to just breathe, go inward, and ask yourself, Do I deserve to be broken down through my own words to myself? I guarantee you the answer is no. Because when you allow yourself to sit with yourself and to go inward with that calm presence, it's so sad to say, but that's when you get some empathy for yourself. That's when you're reminded that you deserve the kindness that you give to other people. You deserve the compassion that you give to other people. Would you ever tell somebody you love when they mess up, "You're so stupid"? You wouldn't. So why do you say that to yourself? Are you not the number one most worthy person in your life of your own love? So if you say you love yourself, prove it. We tell people, if you love me, show me. If you love you, show yourself that you love you through action. It's not enough to look in the mirror and repeat the affirmation of I love myself and I am worthy of my own love and I am worthy of peace and I am worthy of being treated properly when you're not loving yourself properly. You're not showing yourself love through action. You're not showing yourself that you believe that you're worthy of all the things you expect from other people. You're not showing yourself that you're worthy of your own patience, of your own kind words. It's not enough to say something to yourself. The action has to follow. When you pair this habit with the first habit we talked about, which is to stop abandoning yourself, look at how powerful that becomes. So now you're no longer abandoning yourself, and you're putting through action, no longer speaking to yourself in a self-abandoning way. Break the habit of speaking to yourself in the voice that you're so used to speaking to yourself with, that negative voice that says, "Oh, you dropped something, how can you be so stupid? You forgot to take something out of the freezer, how can you be so stupid? You told yourself last night you're going to fill up gas and you didn't, and now you're late, you're so stupid, like you don't have your life together." Stop speaking to yourself in that voice. Choose a voice that's understanding. Choose a voice that's calm. I'm not saying, enable yourself to continue being a reckless person or a forgetful person. That's not what I'm saying. But you're not going to help yourself grow by shaming yourself. There's one thing I said in The Only Constant, and these are actually going to be the words from me to you today. It's okay to slow down. Learn to tune in and listen to your body instead of constantly judging it for not making the change you've logically decided is right for you. One thing we are not going to do is try to shame ourselves into change, because you know what that does? It only makes the shame grow and pushes the change further away. Even if we were to change as a result of shame, that change would not be authentic. And going back to our situation before the change is highly likely. What's driven by shame is sustained by shame. And what's driven by compassion is sustained by compassion. Show yourself compassion. Be kind to yourself as you go through change. There's a difference between you speaking to yourself in the same shaming, judgmental voice that everybody has tried to change you through, and being the compassionate voice that inspires you to be better because it shows you that it already believes in you and it believes that you have value. Speak to yourself with the empathy that you know helps people grow. Stop giving yourself the bitter medicine of shame. It's not medicine. It's a poison. So don't think if you're hard on yourself enough, you're going to do better next time. Maybe you need to be soft on yourself, because being hard on yourself, has it worked for you? You know the answer to that question. The fourth habit I want you to break today. This one gave me goosebumps, okay? Break the habit of making yourself small so that you can make other people comfortable. How many times in your day do you decide to not share your good news because you're afraid it's going to make somebody else feel insecure? How many times do you take away from the time that you know you should be putting towards your dream, your purpose, your career, your goals, the things that feed the fire within you? And you say, I need to do this for that person first. Because if I feed myself and my goals and my dreams, it's going to make me feel like I'm too big for them. So I would rather stay small. How many times during your day do you know that there are things you need to say that need to be said, that need to leave your heart, but you choke on them because you know that if you let them out, you're either going to be in trouble, you're going to be accused of being someone you're not, you're going to be accused of being too needy, you're going to be accused of just needing too much or wanting too much. Break the habit of making yourself small so that other people can feel comfortable. The people who feel threatened by you being whole and not chipping away at yourself just so that they could feel comfortable, those aren't your people. Those are people who, instead of helping you grow and celebrating you and it just being so happy for you being able to be so whole and so full of yourself in all the right ways, instead of them doing that, they would rather chip away at you bit by bit so that you can get to a size that they're like, okay, I'm comfortable with you because you don't challenge me to be better. Because looking at you and the way that you live your life doesn't make me feel worse about myself in the way that I choose to live my life. Sometimes we go for people who make us chip away at ourselves because growth is too uncomfortable and too hard, and it's a lot more comfortable and familiar to be around people who urge us and force us to stay small. Because all we have to do is continue to do what we've done our entire life. Shut your voice down. Dim your light. Stop talking as much as you do. Stop expressing yourself and dreaming, and stop having all these goals. You're so used to doing that your whole life. It's easier to be around people who dictate that you do that. It's very difficult when you're used to that to spend time around people who are going to look at the way you're living your life and say, oh my God, you have so much more potential. Try that thing. Take that risk. Go after that dream. Change that thing you've been wanting to change. Raise your voice. Those are hard things because you're not used to them and you don't know what the consequences are going to be. And you're so afraid. But when you use the fear as something that fuels you, where instead of looking at it as something that scares you and stops you in your track, you say, fear is a very natural part of what I'm going through. I'm so used to living my life a certain way. Of course it's going to be scary to live it in a different way. When you're so used to living in the same city your entire life, and all of a sudden you have the opportunity to fly out somewhere, you're gonna be scared. But it's not because you're not excited about that new place, or it's not because you don't know that you will enjoy it. It's new. It's scary. It's huge. So when you say to yourself, this fear is very normal, it's actually trying to protect me from the unknown. But here are the 2 magical words, or the 3 magical words that are going to eliminate that. Okay? They're not as complicated as you might be thinking. I trust myself. I'm afraid. I trust myself. That's it. When you know that you got your back, who cares if that risk fails? You're not judging yourself the way that you used to. Now you're speaking to yourself with empathy. You've broken the habit of speaking to yourself in a degrading voice. I trust myself. I know that I could try for something and that it might not work out, but I trust myself. I'm able to get back up. Do you know how many times in my life I've broken down and fallen to ashes and fallen to my knees and thought to myself, there's no way I can stand back up. There's no way I can bring my life back together. And look how you brought your life back together. Look how you got back up. Look how you changed your life into something that is so different from the way it was before, and you thought you could never survive it. But here you are. Trust yourself. We are no longer speaking to ourselves in a degrading voice. We are no longer shrinking ourselves so other people can feel glorious around us. We are no longer going to, remove ourselves from the table of our own life so that other people could feel more comfortable at that table of our own life. We are no longer doing that. We are no longer choosing behaviors that tell us from the first thing in the morning, your life isn't as significant as the lives of everybody else around you. We are no longer doing that. The last habit I'm going to talk about today, it's going to punch you in the face, and that's okay. Because when I learned this, I felt like I had to change my life in a way that was so uncomfortable for me, okay? Break the habit of confusing busyness with productivity, okay? I used to think that as long as I'm doing something all day long, and as long as I'm being productive in some way, then I'm okay. I'm useful. I saw this thing on Instagram the other day that said, be useless. That way people can't use you. Sit with these words, okay? You think that the more you do, the more valuable you are. And you also think that the less you do, the less valuable you are. You equate peace and calmness and doing nothing with waste of time. But sometimes you waste your life away doing and trying to convince people of your worth and trying to prove that you are a productive person, that you get so much done. And before you know it, you've lost yourself. You've lost who you are. You've lost your direction. You haven't even given yourself the chance to rest so that you could be an even stronger person for yourself and for your life. You haven't even given yourself the chance to sit and reevaluate, am I on the right path for myself? Because you've poured your whole self into an ocean of things that need to be done, because as long as you're drowning in that ocean, you don't have to ask yourself the hard questions. Who am I living my life for? What am I doing all of this for? What's my purpose? What are my goals? What do I enjoy doing? I'm going to give you practical examples of things you can do in your daily life, okay? Just do this one thing tomorrow, okay? 30 minutes of just not doing anything at all. Sit on your couch, in your bed, on your sofa, on whatever. Pick a place that is comfortable for you and sit there. No sounds, no TV, nothing that's going to make you think of other things or distract you. Just sit with your surroundings. You might hear a bird outside. You might hear construction somewhere around you. You might hear water running somewhere. The more you tune out the things that you've been using to distract you and to make you feel like you're productive and like you're getting something done so you're okay, the more you'll become aware of the world around you, and the more you'll feel like you're actually present in your life. Like you can feel your feet on the ground. You can feel like you're here. Because a lot of the things that we use to distract us, including our work, including the things that we do for other people, they're just a runaway from ourselves. And let me tell you something. Everything that you're running away from ends up chasing you. Everything that you're running away from ends up chasing you. You run away from your purpose is going to be knocking on your door in the middle of the night saying, "Why aren't you going after me?" And its voice is going to become louder and louder. You run away from your feelings, they're going to wake you up in the middle of the night and say, "We're not letting you sleep. You need to feel us." You run away from the things that scare you, they're going to be knocking on your door in the middle of the night saying to you, "I control you." You run away from people's opinions when you know you haven't done the work to no longer care about their opinions. They're going to wake you up in the middle of the night and tell you, "You are dumb, you are stupid, you are foolish." And our voices are a lot more powerful than yours. Stop running away. Stand in your place and face everything that's scaring you. Face everything that needs to be faced in your life so that you can live a life that is clear, so that your vision is steady. If you're running, can you see clearly? You can't. Your vision is up and down, up and down, up and down. You can't really focus on anything because you're running. The only time you can see things clearly is when you're still. How many times were you going through it in your mind? And you're so worried about what they're thinking of you and what they're saying about you and how they're treating you and this thing that's going on at work. And you're in it, and you sit with that one friend. And after an hour of speaking to them, you're like, "I can see clearly what I'm going through." It's because you slowed down. It's because you stopped running. It's because you allowed yourself to rest. That's another thing I want you to do. Take a nap. It's hard for me to take a nap, but I still lay down. I sometimes will listen to soft instrumental music that doesn't have words. I sometimes will just lay down and close my eyes and just let myself not expend my energy into something that distracts me. And trust me, it's transformational for you. Sometimes the breaks that you take throughout your day will help you become 1,000,000 times more vibrant in your own life, more creative, more happy and content, because you actually take the time to settle down before you start again. But when you're constantly running on a hamster wheel, when do you rest? When do you restart? When do you rejuvenate? When do you say, "Oh, this thing I've been doing for so long is actually not right for me"? You don't give yourself the time to even reflect on that. Words that found me. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. This is by John C. Maxwell. I love this one because I wrote The Only Constant, and it's all about change. How do you change your life, and how do you accept the changes that you really just never want to accept? And how do you actually make the changes in your life that you know you need to make? Like the pattern of self-abandoning, like putting yourself in all the wrong environments, like caring about people's opinions, including your own family. And change scares us because of the unknown and the uncertainty, and because we see it as this big thing that's so unachievable, and it's so big, and where do I even start? And like, I can see clearly that this needs to be done, but I can't, because it's too big and it's too scary. Where do I start? You start with this next minute of your life. What's a choice you can make right now, as small as it can be, that will contribute to that goal? And you do it. And then you ask yourself again, what's another thing I can do? And you do it. Instead of seeing it as this steep slope that's like, oh, how do I get all the way up there? See it as a staircase, like a little tiny staircase. And you take one step at a time. I challenge you to start your morning, tomorrow morning, with meeting yourself. Don't go on your phone. Don't call somebody, text somebody. Just sit with yourself for the first 30 minutes and ask yourself, what do I need to do today, and what do I want to do today? I hope this episode has made some kind of a difference for you. If you have any questions, please leave them for me. I've been loving all of your comments, your reviews, your ratings. They're so helpful, and I'm getting so many messages from people who are new to the podcast, which makes my heart so happy. So the work that you've been doing and spreading the word about it is actually working, and I really appreciate you. I hope this episode has helped you find healing beyond words. And until next time, have a lovely day.